So everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. We've got transfer news today, but first of all, I do want to say something. We were supposed to have a little interview today with Lorenzo Pes, a Roma journalist, to get a broader insight of Roma's transfer market. However, he had a little inconvenience, so that live stream will be recuperated this week. I'll tell you when it will be programmed, but just I thought I had to mention that in case you were wondering where that live stream was today. So yeah. We've got some news to talk about, some transfer news. We've definitely got to talk about our interest in Hamari Traore as a potential Karsdorp substitution. And when it comes to interest and being interested in players to strengthen the team without spending a lot of money, Roma have also put Ayoze Perez from Leicester on their transfer list. So we'll definitely give a little glance at that. But obviously before we get into the live stream, if you haven't already, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, where do we start? Let's start with Hamari Traore, because we've been interested in Hamari Traore in these last couple of days, because Mourinho, in his dream January transfer window, he is asking for Frattesi, obviously, which is gonna be very hard to get. But in his dream January window, Mourinho wants to prioritize a box-to-box midfielder and a Karsdorp substitution. We have yet another evidence coming our way in these last couple of minutes how Mourinho's done with Karsdorp. Karsdorp today the team left for Milan towards this afternoon. However, this morning they had a little last-minute training session, and basically what happened is that Karsdorp left the training session earlier because Mourinho told him that he did not get a call up for the Milan game. That is yet another evidence which suggests to us that Mourinho and Karsdorp, even after, let's be honest, a lot of attempts of trying to reconnect that bond which was lost after the Sassuolo game, they tried, but unfortunately it failed. Karsdorp is gonna leave in January without massive surprises. Karsdorp is gonna be one of the players which will leave in this January window. However, as we said before, Roma want to monetize as much as possible, because then they can use the money from Karsdorp, who they think it's not part of our project anymore, and reuse them in the January window. And obviously, if we sell Karsdorp, which is the plan, that basically leaves us with only Celik on that side, and we know how much of a liability Celik can be. Therefore, Mourinho wants another player which can strengthen the squad depth of the team, and when it comes to that position, we have pointed our eyes on Hamari Traore, who is the captain of Rennes. Let's look at the League One table in France to give us an insight of Rennes. Rennes are currently 4th in Ligue 1. And Hamari Traore is their fullback, he's their captain, he's been playing for Rennes for quite a long while. He played both Europa League, Conference League and Champions League with the team. So definitely has got more experience than Karsdorp. I think just with that, you're already stepping up from Karsdorp. You look at Hamari Traore and you're like, right, experience is one of the few things which he has, and that in my opinion is already a massive step up to the player we had, which was Karsdorp. This has not entered stages at all. This is just an idea. It's just an interest. However, it's fair to say that we're interested in Hamari Traore. It's also fair to say that Hamari Traore's contract ends in June. Therefore, something can be arranged with his value. If we want him in January, we would have to pay some money, obviously. But the fact that his contract expires in June means we can negotiate our way through and lower that value. And if we want him in June, then that's another free agent. Linking on this discussion, at the end of the day, look at this. I've said this already, but there are going to be new subscribers. This team is being tormented by financial fair play. It's not news. It's not massive news. We are being targeted by financial fair play. We have got a lot of rules to take in consideration when we actually act upon the transfer market. We've got a lot of UEFA clauses, UEFA rules, which we have to follow. Otherwise, we have to pay UEFA so much money, which could lead up to the 40 millions, which is a lot. We have to avoid that. Therefore, I think we are going to see a lot of free agents again signed for the club. Not just free agents, don't get me wrong, but we are going to see quite a lot of free agents signed for the club. And I think, again, efficiency has to be key when it comes to this, because you've got a lot of rules to follow, and at the same time you have to get players who are actually good players. And you look at this and you're like, well, that's complicated, but this really invites us in a very efficient transfer market. These transfer markets where we're interested in players. We want to buy players, but at the same time, we have to pay close attention on the rules which we have set upon us, or going to be transfer markets where efficiency is going to be the number one thing when it comes to buying players. Efficiency, avoiding spending loads of money, because then, you know, if we've got an eye on us, they are gonna punish us. So efficiency is definitely key. And I think Hamari Traore has got the experience. Don't get me wrong. We're not gonna buy. I mean, he's not, what do we not want to say? He's not Carvajal. He's not insane. He's not an amazing player. But we need players who are willing to join for the club, first of all, because the determination in wanting to join this project is the number one thing. If we have a player who's not convinced, then let's not buy that player. We need confidence, and we need to improve the overall squad depth. And I think it's a good pick. So I look at this and I'm like, I think Hamari Traore has got more experience than Karsdorp. Just with that, I think it's already a massive step up when it comes to Karsdorp, which was the player we had before. Again, as I repeat, it's just an idea. Nothing has entered, significant stages in this deal. But it's fair to say that Jose would like someone to substitute Karsdorp, which is definitely gonna be. I think what we're waiting to do here, to maybe even prepare an assault for a fullback. Maybe even prepare an assault to sign Hamari Traore, is selling Karsdorp. I think selling Karsdorp has to be a priority in this January window. Because if we don't sell him, he's going to rot. So we might as well take the advantage and sell him. Yes, we're not going to get 100% of the money we were asking before this incident with Mourinho happened, because no one right now will be willing to pay 20 to 25 million on a player who has been classified as a toxic element in the team, who has declared himself that he had a mindset, psychological issue. We're not going to see a club which, after this incident, is going to go, oh yeah, right, I'm going to give you 25 bucks to sign Karsdorp, because that would be your dreams. We have to accept the fact that maybe there has been a mistake made in this, but we have to monetize as much as possible. Because if we sell Karsdorp and get no money from it, then that's going to be where the trouble comes. Because that's yet another player which you've sold, you've let away, and you're not monetizing from. That's why loans right now, Roma's not considering any loans when it comes to Karsdorp. Karsdorp has got a few interests in the Premier League. Fulham are interested in Karsdorp, and other clubs which we don't know the name as things stand. But yeah, he's got some offers. Just Roma have to value these offers and see which one suits them best, which is definitely something to take in consideration. Speaking about free agents and all of that, we also have to speak about Ayoze Perez, because Ayoze Perez is a player which Leicester have completely cut out of their own project. He played at Newcastle. He's now a Leicester player. Leicester don't need him. Brendan Rodgers doesn't count on him. And look, again, it's not like we're going to buy him and he's going to change us the season, right? But he's one of those classic players which, if we get him for free, why not get him? Because he can give impacts. I think it's a very similar discussion to Solbakken. We didn't buy Solbakken because he's going to change us this season. We didn't buy Solbakken because with Solbakken, he's going to make us get top 4. Because Solbakken is, in my opinion, a good player to improve the squad depth. Can give good impacts to games, but in my opinion, he's not going to play many games. Same with Ayoze Perez. I think we can build a solid side when it comes to squad depth. And that's something very big to talk about, because you look at the bench of this team and it's not great. I mean, just to give you an example, right? You look at Roma Bologna, which we played on Wednesday. You look at the players which were sitting on the bench on that game, and I'm gonna read you the players which were sitting on the bench. Let me quickly find Roma Bologna 1-0. On the bench we had Madridzik, which is an academy player, Volpato, which is at the end of the day an academy player, Bove, which at the end of the day is an academy player. We had Spina on the bench, Zalewski on the bench, Matic, Boer, Kumbula, Vigna, Zvilor, Kamara, Shimorodov, and then Tammy, which was an exception. Not counting Tammy and Matic and Spina and Zalewski sitting on the bench, we have to improve that squad depth. And you look at the bench which Milan have, you look at the bench which Napoli have, you look at the squad depth Juventus have, and all of that, they are miles better than us. And it doesn't take a lot of money to drastically improve the squad depth of the team. If immediately we were to get Ayoze Perez and Solbakken, that immediately improves the bench. Obviously, they're not insane players. They're not players which are going to make us win the league, but squad depth is definitely something to take in consideration. And we've said this so many times. Squad depth is so important. If you want to fight for your top four, if you want to fight to get quite a long way in Europa League, if you want to fight to try and win Coppa Italia, you need squad depth. You've got Matic, and already the midfielder section fully explains this. In the midfielder, we've got Matic, Cristante, and Kamara as defensive mids. Matic is coming towards the end of his career. Cristante plays games, but after 5 consecutive games he plays, he looks like a dead dinosaur. And then you've got Kamara, who, again, is out of the three the one who runs the most, but you see how little touches can improve the team. And we're not in a position to spend millions. We are not. Forget about spending millions of money. We're going to spend money. Without a doubt, we're going to invest money on players. But the second there's a chance, a good chance to sign a free agent, we're going to go on it. Because, I mean, I did a full live stream when it comes to speaking about financial fair play, how it's affecting on and all of that. And all of that. Make sure to go back and watch that, because it gives you an understanding of how this team is in no position to be spending loads of money. So that's kind of that's kind of the conclusion when it comes to this. So these are definitely your new transfer interests. The big priority remains Frattesi, but at the end of the day, I genuinely don't think it will happen. It's good, however, that Sassuolo is going bad in the league. Sassuolo are currently 16th. Sassuolo are coming their last 5 games, 4 defeats, 1 draw. They are, let me do the maths real quick. They're 7 points from relegation. And they lost the relegation encounter, the relegation clash against Sampdoria last week. If Sassuolo were in a hypothetical chance, which again, I really doubt, but imagine Sassuolo get relegated, or even get very close to relegation. They're gonna be in a position to let Frattesi go by massively decreasing that price tag. So I kind of hate to say this, but I'd love for Sassuolo to get relegated, just because if they get relegated, it's gonna be 10 times easier. 10 times easier for us to get him. Even if they don't get relegated, but get like 17th, 16th, Frattesi's gonna look at new objectives. Frattesi's like, what am I doing here? I'm done fighting for relegation. I want a bigger, I want a bigger challenge. So the fact that Sassuolo is doing pretty badly as things stand is definitely a good invitation when it comes to the Frattesi thing. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it will happen in January. Being fully honest, I don't think it will. Juve and Udinese 0-0 right now. Would be great if they tie. Right, let's have an update on that game, shall we? 0-0, 85th minute. It's a good result, you know, but that really... Juventus is also coming from 5 consecutive wins and 5 consecutive clean sheets, so that would be a good result for us. But again, we would have to react tomorrow. It's going to be tough, but... if you stay buying average players, that equals an average team. Simple as that. But I totally agree with that. But I mean, I do agree with that. That at the end of the day is the reality of football. If you don't buy players, good players, you're not gonna, you're really not going to advance. But at the same time, we have to understand that we are really, and I'd love to emphasize this, we are really not in a position to spend loads of money. That is why, if there's a chance to get a good free agent, we have to act upon it. And I'm not saying it because I'm not trying to get mad here. I'm not saying it because I love to say it. I'm saying it because there is a problem. There is a financial fair play problem targeted at the team. So I'm not just saying this because I like the word financial fair play, if you see what I mean. So I'd love to spend more money too, and I'm sure we will spend more money, but we have to be careful. If spending more money means selling more players, and if that is the path which people want to follow, then that's the path which we have to follow. Because never in a million years, I am going to see, for example, this summer, us buying another player like Dybala, for example, without selling one between Tammy and Nico. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna. I can't believe it. Juventus scored. I cannot believe it. They score always in the last minute. What is this? Oh, great. Fucking hell. Juventus are back. Juventus are 4 points from winning the title. I mean, not from winning the title. They're 4 points from first position. Wow. Juventus are 7 points from us. Holy cow. That's not good at all. Napoli 41, Juventus 37, Milan 36, Inter 33, Lazio Roma 30. We had to avoid that, We really had to avoid a Juventus win today. But it is what it is. I mean, Inter will probably win tonight against Monza. So it's going to make top 4 really hard. It's going to make top 4, if not impossible. But never give up. Never give up. Right, how can you be confident about Solbakken if he didn't even play a game yet? I remember we were speaking the same about Belotti. He comes and he impacts a lot, but what we see instead. I've never said I'm massive confident about Solbakken. I just said Solbakken. That's exactly why I said Solbakken. We bought Solbakken just to improve the squad depth. Realistically speaking, Solbakken is not going to give impacts to games. And in fact, fully respect to him, but realistically speaking, the only reason why we bought him is because he scored against us. There is no reason other than the fact that he scored against us of why we would buy Solbakken. So I was very critical at the very start when it comes to buying Solbakken. I think it's good when it can improve the squad depth, as we said before, but I'm not expecting Solbakken to bag a goal every game. In fact, I'll be surprised if Solbakken even scores some goals. And I hate to be that negative, but that's it. Solbakken is coming from a very different league, a very different team, a very different environment. He's coming from playing in a stadium which fills 200 as a capacity to a stadium which fills a 75,000 capacity stadium. That is already a massive difference. So, yeah, I've never said Solbakken is going to 100% impact games. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow live watch along. It's a big day. Looking forward to it. But we kind of need to hope that Monza prepare a surprise against Inter tonight, even though it's going to be hard to imagine it. But if Juventus don't stop winning, if Inter Milan don't stop winning, if Napoli and Milan keep on the pace they have, top 4 is going to be very, 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 very hard, especially if we don't win tomorrow. It's going to be a crucial game. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a tough one. Come back tomorrow at 8:30 Italian time, 9:30 UK time, wherever you're from. Figure it out and come back, because it's going to be a good one. And live watch-alongs are back. I can't believe Christmas is almost over. Christmas is over. I can't believe Christmas is over. Can you believe it? I was actually reading some, what do you want to call them? Christmas wish letters that I wrote when I was like 8, 9 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old. Writing what I would like for Christmas. I was reading it all over again today, and in one of them, I actually wrote, Santa Claus, can I please have a beard for Christmas? I know. Childhood is amazing. But yeah, Christmas is almost over. Christmas is over. Sorry. But yeah. Sorry for that. Just thought you might be interested in it. I'll catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the link of my channel with your families and friends. And hopefully Monza can prepare an upset against Inter, even though I highly doubt it. But anything can happen. I'll catch you soon. Simon, out.